A dealership's number one goal is to get you focused on payment. I'm going to teach you how to avoid this, even if you care about your payment. If you don't know, my name's Tom. I've been in the car business most of my adult life, done sales, done finance, and now I negotiate car deals. Enough about me, let's talk about car payments. First off, don't feel bad. It makes logical sense for you to care about your car payment. In reality, that's the note you're paying every single month, and you need to make sure that fits in budget. But the problem with this is when a dealership has you focused on payment, there are so many things that can manipulate a payment. Let's talk about them. We can talk about the price of the car. They could change the trade. They could change the interest rate. They could change the term. There are so many things that they can manipulate. For example, if they just increase the term by 12 months, that lowers your payment by like $80. By doing that, that makes it seem like they discounted the car, when in reality they don't. So we need to control the narrative so we can control the price. The first thing we need to do is figure out how much car we can buy for the payment we need. So we're actually gonna go through this auto calculator. It's calculator.net, but you can just Google auto loan calculator and fill out this information. Find the car roughly you're looking at. If you're buying a Mazda and it's like $30,000, put that in there. Don't even worry about discounts at this point. Put the interest rate right around 6-7%. It's a good ballpark. I would say 7%. When I'm working with my clients, I like to overestimate these numbers. Figure out your sales tax. You can just put it like 6-7%. It's a good ballpark number. And then title and registration and other fees, I normally put like $1,200. That's well over estimate. But again, it's going to get us these numbers. This is going to figure out the payment. Again, we're doing this all at home. We're not doing this with the dealership because a dealership can manipulate the numbers. If we go back to that screen, they could change the interest rate to 14% even though you qualify for 7. And then when you ask for a discount, they just change that 14 to 11. You don't know any better, but then all of a sudden your payments just dropped to $60. You feel like it's a discount. In reality, they did nothing but manipulate the numbers. That's why we need to figure out what we qualify. The true best way to do this is actually just to get pre-approved. If you get pre-approved, then you know exactly what the interest rate you're pre-approved at, and you can calculate payments down to almost the dollar. But again, we're gonna figure this out until we find a monthly payment. Play around with the numbers. Realistically, you don't wanna do any longer than a 72-month loan if you have to. In a 72-month loan, your interest rate's gonna be right around 7% with good credit. If it's worse credit, maybe do 9%. You can overestimate a little bit because you'd rather go over high than under high, if that makes sense. And this is the power of this information, is once we know that the price of the car needs to be $35,000 to make this work, and the car is at $38,000, we know we need to negotiate this car down to $35,000. What I recommend is when you're negotiating with the car deal, just have this thing out. So when they give you a payment or give you a quote, you can just calculate your own payment. I always recommend calculating your own payment because what you're gonna be shocked is that payment might be drastically different than what actually shows on the form. There is what we call packing a payment or adding to a payment. They are trying to quote you a higher payment. So when you go to finance, it only seems like a $20 bump. So instead of $350, you're paying $370, but you're getting thousands of dollars worth of product. Again, it is a trick that dealerships use. So we need to learn how to calculate our own payments. I don't say this enough, and I need to make sure it's clear because I was in finance for the majority of my career. Dealerships make the majority of their money in finance. I'm gonna repeat that. Dealerships make the majority of their money in finance. I had a client just recently that I did a whole negotiation on. We set everything up in finance. I said, hey, we're not gonna buy anything. If they wanna do gap, that's fine. Kind of set it all up. And my client fell for that exact trap. The dealership said it's only $20 a month. Why wouldn't you do it? And for her, she didn't even think to call me because she was like, it's $20 a month. Like, why wouldn't I do that? But again, it was because they were increasing the term and she didn't even realize it. And again, they pulled a trick on us. That's on us. That's on me. We got it all reversed. But that being said, even though somebody was prepared and knew this could happen, it still happened to. And it happens every day. The only way to really avoid this is to go with a fine-tooth comb and really look through the paperwork. So this can happen to anybody, even somebody that's prepared, somebody that's not. I'll tell you that 85% of my clients that when I worked in the car industry, bought a warranty. That means I converted 85% and 90% of those people say no to start out with. It is crazy on how much money a dealership makes in the back end. That is where their moneymaker is because it's almost all pure profit. You need to avoid this. The only way to avoid this is to learn how to calculate your own payment. And I know people are going to ask about leasing. I have a whole video that I've done on leasing. I just haven't done one on financing. And again, it was inspired because I had a comment today saying I said no to a $1,000 payment. Well, that $1,000 payment's at 36 months. It might make sense. If it's 72 months, it doesn't make sense. We need to not focus on the payment. We need to focus on the out the door number. We need to figure out the math that makes sense in order to get the payment there. And realistically, we just need to figure out the price of the car. Remove all the add-ons. You should almost never pay for any add-ons. If they want to add those on, that's great. If they want to throw them in, that's great. But you shouldn't be paying for those. And if you are, you're just costing yourself money. I know this is a little bit long-winded, and I can do a part 2 and really dive into a specific deal. I know a few people have asked for me to show real live deals with my clients. I'm actually going to start doing that on my Instagram. I'm going to start showing success stories of deals I negotiated. I'm going to show them the car, the price we got. So if you guys like that kind of content, I want you to go to my Instagram. Thank you guys so much. We're almost at 10,000 followers. At 10,000, I have a super cool surprise I'm excited to share with all you guys. But I want you guys all to like, follow, subscribe, and have a great day.